This thing on? No technical difficulties today. Hello, everybody. It's me, Tiger Wizard. Welcome to the Exalted Funeral YouTube channel. We're having a fun little stream with some guest authors that we've unlocked for the TAVERS, the Meow Wolf Roleplaying Game. I had a slight technical difficulty, which I didn't mute the other screen. No worries. We've moved past it. TAVERS, the Meow Wolf Roleplaying Game. We've unlocked a special guest author section. There's going to be 5 additional episodes. That's additional content for you and your TAVERS to explore. So we're going to have a couple of those join us here on the stream in just a second to just sort of get to know them, chat a little bit. And also, we want to get to know you guys. We want to chat with you guys. So please drop us some comments in the stream. We'd love to hear what you're thinking about TAVERS, what you're thinking about. I'm having another problem with my sound over here. I'm just going to mute all my sound. All right, don't worry about it. Okay. Right now, we are at somewhere around 220. We just unlocked another stretch goal, which is the itemvelopes. The itemvelopes are little pocket things that you can store your items in between sessions. I'm really excited about that. Probably the thing I was within sessions for. I'm also really into great. Okay, I earlier when if you're here, this is like what you're excited and what you're up to. Okay, that's the end of that. I'm going to now ask Beckett if he would send in some of our guests. We've got 3 guests that are going to join us today. All 3 are going to be writing Episodas for bonus content for TAVERS. So Michael J. Wilson from Meow Wolf. You've met him before. He was on a stream with me earlier this month. In addition to being closely tied to the Meow Wolf lore, he and I have become dear friends. He's been helping, such an incredible help to me in sort of parsing the lore and helping actually write some of the content for the book. So we're going to have Michael join on. We've also got Jason Cordova from the Gauntlet. He's the creator of some of my favorite games, a huge inspiration to me. I met him in person, I guess, well, virtually in person, just mere moments ago, right before the stream. So I'm excited to get to chat with him. And then we also have Matt Fantastic from Forever Stoked Creative. He's going to jump in here with us too, and we're just going to all sort of chat about life, portals, whatever. We're going to see what happens. So Beckett, if you don't mind, let's send in the guests. Okay.
Are we here?
Are we here?
I feel like it's one of those when you pose for a photo, but then you don't know if they're taking it. And you're just like,
yeah, and you're like, okay, maybe this is a video. I'm not. Or my favorite thing to do in that situation is just take a bunch of selfies. You know, like you're like, yes, say cheese, and then you're just taking pictures of yourself for their pleasure later. Okay, Michael, Matt, Jason, welcome to the show, everybody. How's everybody doing today?
Great.
Yeah.
Feeling good.
Okay.
I'm excitedly home after 5 conventions in a row in March. So I'm home for a bit, very tired, but excited about it.
That sounds fun and exhausting.
It was absolutely both of those things. It was pretty much exactly as you might expect it to be. It was great, and every day was cool. And then I was also like a zombie at PAX East, which was this past weekend. I was definitely like, yeah, I'm at a convention, man. Sure.
So you started answering my question, but tell us what conventions you were at.
So it was first Gamma Expo,
Yeah.
then GDC, then Unpub Festival. Then there was a little local convention. Retcon is that was like chill. And then PAX East. So
Hell yeah.
really stacking them up.
Awesome. And Jason, what have you been up to? Like what's happening on Kickstarter for you recently?
Yeah, I've been 100%, not 100%, but very, very consumed by my own Kickstarter for public access role-playing game. I also went to a con recently, but just a little tiny breakout con in Toronto. But that's my con going sorted for 5 years. So I don't have to go to another one until 2031 by my reckoning. So
okay. And huge congrats on the public access funding.
Thanks.
Like I think you also kind of had a little bit of a quantum like funded before you even launched, right? Like
yeah, I guess so. It was pretty fast.
Yeah.
No, it was we're really excited by it. The game's been out in some form or another for a long time, and now we're kind of finally pulling the trigger on making a proper book, which people have been asking for forever. So yeah,
I'm very excited for it. There's two games kind of like on my like really want to play list, and it's public access and Mythic Bastion Land are the two that I'm like, ooh, I really want to I want to play these.
Did Quinn's get you hooked into that?
That's so funny because at RPGs last night we talked about what we're going to play next, and both of those were part of the conversation.
Nice.
Are they really? Wow. It's in the ether. No, it wasn't Quinn's.
Okay.
It wasn't Quinn's actually. It was a buddy of mine, Jay Domingo, who is one of the co-authors of the Mystic Punks role-playing game.
Okay, yeah.
So, and he actually is the one who offered to run public access for me and a couple of friends. So that's
nice.
I'm hoping to hit him up for that.
Yeah,
and Michael,
I hope you enjoy it.
You've got a lot going on as well, gearing up for I don't know, the sunny state of California. What have you been up to recently?
We are in the middle of what I'm going to call the beginning stages of install for the LA Meow Wolf, which opens this year. I'm going to do this because I'm not going to tell a date. We're not going to get more close to than this year. And almost 2/3 of the company are about to relocate to LA for the next 8 months. And so things are kind of crazy. We're in that stage where we're trying to quickly wrap up everything we have to wrap up here so we can start shipping stuff off to LA. And we've actually already started shipping things, and we already have people on the ground there. A bunch of people head off in April, and I'm going to be going sometime in June. So that's also exciting. Yeah. I'm about to be staying in a hotel for a couple weeks.
So Meow Wolf still uses like traditional shipping methods, like we've not converted to transporter or portal tech at this point.
We break everything down to the atom, put them in little jars, carry them individually.
Carry that. Okay.
And then put it all back together. We actually do, and maybe it's kind of insane, but we still do almost all of our production here in Santa Fe. We still build all of this stuff here and then send it out. And it may be not the most efficient way of doing it, but it's certainly the most fun.
Awesome. I see y'all down there in the chat. Robert Blank 5206 and Chaotic as TTRPG Library. Robert says, congrats. Thank you. How do you make an exciting game with unpredictable twists and turns when you don't roll dice to determine success in a traditional way? Or do you? Well, this is a fun question. I feel because Matt and Jason haven't actually played the game with us yet, that maybe this is for me and Michael to answer. But there are a lot of ways in which you can create unpredictable twists. A lot of it comes from an emergent narrative that all of the players contribute to. So there are a lot of prompts and suggestions for ways that things can go, ways that the story can twist and turn, potentially bending and breaking the laws of reality. But the dice are used primarily for determining a range of success for uncovering bits of story. So great question, Robert. Thank you so much for jumping in the chat. Four Eyes, welcome. Thank you so much. Yeah, okay. Do we unlock a Y2K bug if we hit 2000? Yeah, probably.
Yes.
Yeah.
Computers will crash across the globe.
So the game TAVERS, obviously a big part of it is portals, right? Opening portals, popping to to other places. And I wanted to throw it to our guests here. When was the last time you fell into a portal? And can you tell us a little bit about that? I'm going to let Matt, because I know you've got some stories of portals you've fallen into.
Oh, I mean, the most recent is when I got on an airplane in San Francisco, and then in a daze arrived from left GDC to go to the airport, and then went through a portal and was now in Baltimore at a different convention, and that certainly felt like falling through a portal, taking the red eye between conventions.
Awesome. What about you, Jason?
Mine is similar-ish. So flying into Toronto for Breakout Con, I flew United, and United at the Toronto airport gets put in this like really distant part of the airport. And so you have to you follow this like strange like switchbacking corridor that like it does like 30 switchbacks, like just and increasingly like is kind of changing elevations, and there might be
kind of like a mountain trail or something.
Yeah, there might be like one person in front of you, one person behind you. There's just arrows, just like big neon arrows, and nothing else welcoming you to Toronto or encouraging you to engage with Canadian culture or anything. And it's like this, it's truly a liminal space. I'm like, it never ends. You're like, oh my God, this never ends. Like, when is it over? And then eventually you get spit out into the airport or to the airport terminal. But yeah, so I guess that was one. I felt like I was like not just traveling from America to Canada, but like passing into another whole realm, you know.
Do you ever watch Dragon Ball Z? And it's like right at the beginning of that show, and he has to go along this road that's, I think, a snake. Does anybody remember that? And you're like, just episodes and episodes of like, yep, still traveling on this.
That's my memory of Dragon Ball Z, a fight that lasts like 10 episodes.
Yeah.
I think that might be why I never got into anime, actually. I think I was like, just kind of pieced out of it.
Well, I like freaking people out or annoying them, I guess, by being really into the One Piece live action show, because I do really enjoy it. But they're like, oh my God, you have to watch the anime, and I'm like, I'm not going to though.
There's like 100 hours of anime.
Yeah. Oh, it's more. There's over 1,000 episodes. Like, I'm good, man.
I think I could be talked into it. I like pirate stuff. I saw a trailer for it, so I feel like I kind of know what's going on. He's searching for the One Piece, right? So, yeah.
The titular.
And the live action doesn't have anywhere near as many episodes, so that's
no. The live action's great. It's bonkers. It's really weird, and like as someone who knows very little about the anime, it's absolutely fucking nuts. And just like the costume design is insane. Like it's absolutely like an acid fueled fever dream of a show, because I think they tried really hard to keep the spirit of it being an anime. Like, it's not like they made it serious. Like, it's still insane.
Okay, so we've got some more people joining in the chat. Steve, welcome. Zane, welcome. I got a question from 100 Mad Mike. I'm interested in seeing how the game is played. Would you all play a game on YouTube? Right now, probably not. We're going to try and keep this stream to just an hour, and we probably wouldn't even get through character creation. But that's a great idea, and we're hoping to have some actual plays for people to enjoy once the game is out. The LA airport is like that, but with slot machines. Okay. That's from Four Eyes. I'm curious about how the guest writers got involved with this project. That's a great question. Thank you for that, Chaotix TTRPG Library. The short answer is I asked them. But there's more to it than that, right? So I knew from hanging out with Matt Fantastic at PAX Unplugged that he was a huge Meow Wolf fan, and I've thoroughly enjoyed playing a lot of the games that he has designed. So seemed like kind of a natural fit there. Michael J. Wilson, of course, is already helping with the writing. So he's helping me with the writing of the core book. And Jason is a huge hero of mine. So and the way that Jason writes RPGs has been very influential to me as a game designer. So it was sort of a no-brainer to invite him to participate. We've also got two other guest authors that couldn't be here. Sean McCoy, who is from Tuesday Night Games and is the creator of Mothership. He's a good friend of us over here at Exalted Funeral, and also really big Meow Wolf fan. And so also kind of a no-brainer. We know that his work is going to be fantastic. And then Banana Chan is our number 5, and she's a close friend and just a super awesome person. So another kind of no-brainer. I just asked these people, I was like, hey, do you guys want to do something? And fortunately for all of us, they all jumped on board. I think without any reservation. I don't know. Was anybody like, I don't know about it?
My only reservation was, what's my word count?
Yeah.
What will I be expected to turn in?
Yeah.
Okay, I can commit to that. That was basically it for me. No, the thing is I didn't really have any, I wouldn't say reservations, but despite the fact that my personal fashion could probably best be described as Meow Wolf chic, I have never actually been to one, and so I didn't really know kind of what the deal was. Also. One of my most popular games is set in New Mexico, and I've still never been to a Meow Wolf. And so I kind of didn't really I didn't have that touchstone really.
Yeah.
I have a lot of friends who, obviously people love Meow Wolf, and I know people who love it, and so I understood what it was on that level. And I'm also kind of a horror guy, so it was the tone was maybe not something I normally write in, but I think I'm a good writer. I can handle it.
I think you are too.
Yeah.
And I want to be completely transparent about this. Meow Wolf holds elements of horror within it. And I don't know, Michael, if you want to kind of jump on this, topic as well, but I look at each of these episodes, each of these things as a different thematic genre almost. And so I'm really excited to see what Jason Cordova is going to bring.
Oh, if I can make it scary, I will. If I have the room to make it scary, I will make it scary.
Yes. All right.
I think it's funny. I don't know that I would classify us as horror, but we're existential, and that's scary as hell. So I think there's lots of room for horror in what we do. Some of my favorite stuff that we've done is the stuff that gets creepy, and some of the stuff we're working on for LA is playing around with genre a little more, and there's actually some straight up just horror elements in this exhibit, which I'm very excited for. So yeah, go crazy, go wild. We like the scary stuff.
Yeah. In the chat, Reed H. Cooper, sorry, says, ... there's tons of horror in the Meow Wolf. And then we have another, I was wondering if Michael helped on the game as well. Yes, he did.
A little bit.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, tons of scary stuff. Love the stuff that you do. Okay. Here's a question from Robert again. Can the folks who are working on the new Episodas give us some clues about how much adventure should we expect per Episoda, like old school zine length, one pager, big, thick, mega adventures? So the Episodas are not quite that beefy. You will find, though, that even in the short, I think each Episoda is about 6 pages of guidance. within those 6 pages, you have enough material to rock a campaign for many sessions. So you're all welcome here on the stream to like talk about it, but a couple of you have shared that like we haven't really gotten into what this was just announced, so we haven't really gotten into what all of these episodes are actually going to be about, except that Jason's just revealed his is going to have some horror elements in it. So actually, Matt, I know that you've been thinking about this for a while, and you and I haven't talked about it, so let's talk about it right now. Do you have some ideas about where you would want to take TAVERS in your Episoda? Have you thought about it at all?
I mean, I like the combination lowbrow, high concept. So there will probably be some high concept philosophical questions along with like, you know, too much weed smoking and Black Sabbath records.
Okay.
So, you know, it's I think we're gonna meld that vibe is where I'm aiming. So philosophical.
That sounds amazing. I had a meeting today where we were actually talking about designing some old school blacklight posters.
Yeah, I love it.
And we were debating how metal a metal font could be before it was completely unreadable.
I mean, look
in a Meow Wolf setting.
Here.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it just says video games. I got this. This is a PAX shirt, actually.
Hell yeah. Well, I am a huge fan of both black metal illegible logos and blacklight posters. So all of that sounds really cool to me. All right, your commercials are an inspiration. I think that's directed at you, Michael.
Possibly. Our commercials are a little ridiculous.
I don't know. Maybe they're talking about the commercials that we've made for TAVERS.
Let's pretend that that's what they're doing. They're doing that. Yeah, that's actually what they meant.
Okay.
They weren't talking about the creepy Willie Nelson deepfake video we made for Omega Mart at all. That's not what they were talking about.
Hey, Tin Arashi. Hi from Australia. How enjoyable do you think the game would be for someone who has never been to a Meow Wolf exhibit and probably won't ever do so? Wow. So it's a great question, but also very sad to like.
It sounds like we just have to open something in Australia is what it sounds like.
Let's get an exhibit out there. So I can say from the early playtesting that I ran groups that had like mostly Meow Wolf fans, and then I also ran several groups of role players that didn't really know anything about Meow Wolf other than me saying, "Hey, will you play this Meow Wolf game with me?" And I found that both groups like kind of, and actually like to even further that point, I brought this game to Meow Wolf and played it with people at Meow Wolf team members, and kind of the same conclusion is like you can have a lot of fun creating a story with a group of people. It doesn't really matter if you fully understand the context, and this game is dice light and lore light, so you don't really need to know a whole lot other than what your place is and then where you're going, and that's something that you learn as you're going. So I would say very enjoyable.
Yeah, can I jump in real quick? I can't speak to, obviously I can't speak to TAVERS, but like I get this question all the time because people always want to know, well, like I've never been to New England, so will I be able to play Brindlewood Bay? Or I've never, I'm from Denmark. I don't know anything about New Mexico. Like, can I still play? Like, will I enjoy it? And it's like, yes, you will.
Yeah,
because you also probably haven't been to Faerun either, and you still managed to like have a lot of fun when you play Dungeons and Dragons, right? Like,
oh, that's a much better answer. Yeah,
know, like there's, you know, like I mean, like I'm always like it's so like I don't know, like I think like if with my games at least, if you're willing to put in like 5 minutes of work, like researching the cultural touchstones, you're good to go. Like there's really like no, you know, and I have to imagine with like a setting like this that is so like kind of like cosmic and interdimensional, like I'm not sure why familiarity with
Yeah, you don't need it.
Yeah.
Also, I see another comment that I really want to get to that says, sounds like peak Silver Surfer. So if you haven't, I don't have it right in front of me. It's over there. I can see it on the shelf. But the cover art for the TAVERS book is by a comic book artist by the name of Trad Moore, who actually is a Silver Surfer comic book artist. He did Silver Surfer Black, which is an amazing story. If you haven't checked it, if you're into comics, if you're into Silver Surfer and comics, you should go check it out. It's a really cool story. His artwork is bonkers. Are any of you guys familiar with Trad Moore and his Marvel work?
Silver Surfer Black is one of the comics that got me reading comics again after I had taken a huge break from comics.
Okay, cool.
So yeah. Also, just comparing us to Silver Surfer in general makes me happy. I love that that's a touch point for someone's brain, because it's one that I've not necessarily made, but it's accurate.
I don't think we got all the way around with the falling into a portal question, because I heard that the airports. Did we get an answer about falling in a portal from you, Michael?
No, but
do you want to give one?
I mean, I woke up today. I live in the desert. I live in Santa Fe, and I woke up today to rain and gray skies, and that feels like being transported to somewhere else. It felt very Northwestern-ish today. It felt very New England-ish. Like it was not Santa Fe deserty at all. And also, I work at Meow Wolf. I come to this office every day, and it feels a little insane. Like, I walk past all the artwork in process to get to my desk, and every day it's completely different, and it feels a little intense because everything's reconfigured like 2 or 3 times a week. So
yeah, and I imagine there'll be a big temporal shift in your life when all of that stuff gets broken down into odd atoms and then shipped off to
in little jars, put in little boxes and shipped away. Yeah, it's gonna feel very different. It's gonna feel like, it's gonna be weird. And I'll be coming to an office where it's going to be pretty empty here, which is also going to be interesting. It'll be very liminal. I just watched the trailer for the Backrooms movie earlier today, and I was this place actually feels very like that when we're doing install, because there's maybe there's like maybe 15 to 30 people who come into the office every day when everyone else is at an install. So it's going to be very liminal and weird.
So me and Michael got to do a Reddit AMA a couple of days ago, and there were a lot of really great questions on there. But I think my favorite question that somebody asked me was about inspiration and specifically art inspiration. And the way the question was phrased, though, was, who would be on your fantasy art Rushmore? And I loved that question, but I wanted to twist it around a little bit and throw it to you guys, to y'all. So if you had to build a Mount Rushmore of like your biggest inspirations, whether it be, gaming legends, movie heroes, Robin Hood, whatever, like, who would be, how many people are on Rushmore? 4. Is it 4? Thank you. Okay. Yeah. Who would I might have answered 5, but your 4 or 5-ish heads that you would carve into your monument. We'll go. Yeah. Well, let's go to you, Matt.
Oh, I mean, what a question.
I know. It's great, right?
How can I everything I say, like, later tonight, I'm going to be like, oh, fuck, I forgot. Oh man. I'm just going to kick myself right in the ass. I'm gonna say I'm gonna throw out Jack Kirby maybe as worthy of inclusion. I don't know if he actually makes top 4, honestly, but we were just talking about Silver Surfer, and I feel like in terms of influenced people and influenced people that influenced me, right? Like one step removed, especially, right? Like just so many people and so many things, I think, like Eternals and just the really kind of like bonkers stuff that he was doing, and still in relatively mainstream spaces, right? It's not like he was some weirdo underground guy doing like crazy stuff that there's 6 copies of from 1972 or whatever, right? He was doing like Marvel comics and So I think he's a good scoop. Certainly a respectable put up on the Mount Rushmore.
Hell yeah.
Boris Vallejo, can we throw Boris Vallejo in there? I feel like I would not say exactly my taste, certainly these days, but I think actually, you know what? No, we're going for Zeta. If we're gonna go for one classic, we're going for Zeta. He's dirtier, cooler. I think like I like his little
got
more
that leather jacket on
vibes. Yeah, so we'll throw for Zeta up there for sure. Although I mean I don't know, Boris Vallejo, he's so influential. It's just such a and Julie Bell. Let's I don't want to be rude, so we'll put them together.
Are they one face on the monument?
Two sides of a face, maybe.
You've got a real Harvey Dent thing going on here.
Yeah, I love it.
Okay, what if you only got one? Like, what if the four of us were building our own monument and you only got one face? Okay, never mind. Don't worry about that one. We'll come back to it. Jason, you ready to rock your
so are we talking just visual artists or like any kind of artist?
Any kind of anything.
Okay.
Could be an author,
okay, cool.
a musician, could be a game designer,
I'm going David Lynch for sure.
Okay.
Probably no single person who's ever existed has been more of a direct influence to how I think about art and the artistic process and the creative process. And so I would say David Lynch for sure. And when he passed away, it was like that was a really hard week for me, actually.
Wow.
I was like really affected by it in a way that I didn't think I would be. So that was good. That'd be one for me. I would also probably say John Carpenter. Not just because of movies, but also because of music. David Lynch because of music as well.
Oh,
actually.
Absolutely.
But no, I love the way they both actually kind of fuse like their sort of like visual medium arts with music, and how the role that music plays in them. I think is always really, really great. And I love to just walk and put on John Carpenter like scores or like some of his like kind of synth wavy albums, and I just find it to be so like inspirational. It works for me.
He's got a new one coming up that I was lucky enough to hear. A pre-master version of, and
cool.
It's dope. Like you like be excited that there's a new.
I love it. Yeah, no, he's like whenever I do my little Spotify Wrapped, he's always like number 1 or number 2 every year. It's very predictable.
Matt, you got that on your computer? Put it on now. Let's listen to it.
I technically do, but I am confident that I'm super not supposed to. Not supposed to do that.
I know. I'm just teasing. I figured it was a case like that. Oh, somebody in the chat asks, what the hell are we talking about? It's we're making a Mount Rushmore of our inspirations, right? So it's our inspirations, and Jason's going through his top 4. And yes, audience participation. If you also want to share with us, I would love to see what your top 4 inspiring people in your life are. Like, blow up the chat with that. I'd love to see it. All right, back to you, Jason.
I'm a voracious reader. I read a lot, and there are so many authors that I would put on there, but I'll try to restrict myself or pick the one that makes the most sense here. I'm going to go with maybe an obvious choice and say Stephen King.
Oh my gosh.
I think the thing about Stephen King, which frustrates me, is because he's so mainstream and such a massive commercial success and so ubiquitous in the culture, he doesn't get enough credit for like what an amazing fucking writer he is. Like no one does it like him, right? Like if he's just an incredible, from the craft of writing, he's just amazing. And even his like very, very minor works to me are always going to be like a great read. I'm always going to like devour them. They're always going to be a good time. And I also just like the way he's sort of like, he captures this really particular like kind of like nostalgia in his writing, which I think resonates with me because my own games have a lot of like nostalgic elements to them.
Yeah.
And then my last.
Can I say something about Stephen King?
Oh yeah.
Because I'm late to the Stephen King game. I started reading the Gunslinger books about
Dark Tower books.
Yeah, maybe like 10 years ago. And
you got to get through that first one. The first one's kind of like, and then after that,
I loved the first one.
Oh yeah, it's good. It's good. It's just different, right?
Yeah, and then like 2, 3, and 4, I was just like, I read them so quickly and loved them. I got to book 5, which is the Wolves, and was like, it was a trudge.
It's a bit, yeah.
And then
it's a little self-indulgent.
And then 6, it took me a long time to like want to. I read many books in between. Like I read 1, 2, 3, 4, and then like started reading 5 and like went back and forth to other books. I'm only now, like right now, like I read a chapter last night and I'll read another chapter tonight. Am I reading The Dark Tower, the book 7? So I don't actually. I watched the movie, but I don't actually know how it ends.
Yeah, I know for my money, Dark Tower's fine. For to me, Stephen King invented the kids on bikes genre, and he still does it the best. Like I just think I just think he really like owns that subgenre that I think he should be credited with creating or at least popularizing. And I guess my fourth one is it's a little tricky. I might go with something kind of like a little newer and lesser known person and say Mariana Enriquez, the Argentine horror writer. Kind of horror writer and also essayist. She is magnificent. I would love to work with her. Actually, we have a mutual friend, and I'm trying to like make that happen.
Okay. Absolutely.
But she's amazing. She. It's hard to describe it or to verbalize here, except to say that like the way she views the world, like when I read her stuff, I'm like, we're the same person. Like we just have like the same viewpoint on life and death and people and place. And so I just really, really like connect with her. Yeah.
So what you need to do is I don't actually, do you have a podcast?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, several. Yeah, they're all role-playing game podcasts. Yeah.
So you need to make an. Oh, that's right. Yeah, Fear of the Black Dragon.
Yeah, Fear of the Black Dragon. And there's a couple.
But you just have to have like a special episodes that you can invite them to be on.
Yeah.
Like that's how I've done it with like most of the people that I want to meet. Is like, oh, you want to be a guest
on a show? Yeah.
That's the whole reason to have a podcast, right?
Yeah. Obviously. Yeah. At the end, I reveal to everybody that we haven't been recording this whole time. I just wanted to hang out and chat with you. Also, this might tickle your fancy before we get to Michael's list, but from I just lost it here. Okay, so from Four Eyes, Fish, Matt Bradley, Alex Hirsch, Rebecca Sugar, H.R. Giger or Geiger, depending on how you pronounce it, David Lynch, and Jason.
Oh,
how about that? Yeah. Okay. I'm going to read a couple more of these in just a second, but let's go ahead and here I'm going to read 2 of them, and then we'll go to you, Michael. So, let's see. Your MySpace top 4 is pretty funny. Reed says Andy Kaufman, Douglas Adams. Oh, what a great one. Annie Lennox and David Cronenberg. There you have it. Okay, Michael.
This is such a hard question.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to go with things that feel like they inspired me and helped make me who I am. So I studied poetry in school, so there's going to be a poet or 2 in here probably, so I apologize up front for that. But you should all go read poetry. I'm going to pick Peter David first. Ooh. Because Peter David, his work on Incredible Hulk and his Star Trek novels from like the late 80s and early 90s really like showed me that nerd shit could also just be good and didn't have to be like, it could be good literature, good books, good writing, could also be goofy and nerdy and silly. And you could have the Incredible Hulk tell really touching and interesting stories. For instance, one of my favorite Incredible Hulk issues, I don't remember the number, one of his friends dies of HIV AIDS. It was the first time that AIDS was really like talked about in a comic book in this way. And I was like a teenager, and I remember being very just like, wow, that's amazing to see the Incredible Hulk deal with this thing. So, Peter David, definitely. And then from there, I think it gets really hard for me. Everyone else has already picked people who I'd probably pick too. David Cronenberg's a good one.
Yeah. This is not like just because somebody's carved a face
it's gone now.
into
I
a
can't
mountain
do it now. It's
doesn't
copying.
mean
It's copying on the internet, Andrew. I can't like but so like I would pick probably Anne Carson, who's an amazing Canadian poet and essayist. She is weird. I highly recommend her work for everyone. She's amazing. And then I'm gonna pick James Baldwin because James Baldwin writes beautiful books, and
Invisible Man's one of my favorite books of all time. Like,
which one?
Invisible Man. Yeah.
Oh,
that's top 5 book.
And like Giovanni's Room is an amazing book. It's just a beautiful book about longing and love. I don't know, and queer stuff. Everyone should go read it right now. And then I feel like I should pick something that's not a writer. I'm gonna pick Mark Rothko because he confuses me, and for a long time I didn't understand why a color field painting was good art. And it took, and staring at a Rothko until I kind of got it was one of those moments where my brain felt like it went like this. And I really appreciate those moments because I love finding things that make me see things new. And so I think Rothko did that in a lot of ways.
The experience of being in the room with it, and is so much different than like just looking at a picture of it.
Slide or like in an art book. It's so different.
It's so much different experience.
How different it is. It's bonkers. Like if you've only ever seen a Rothko like not in person, I mean, this is going to be like probably the most pretentious thing I've ever said.
But,
say
it.
It's true though. Probably
like, you haven't actually seen it. Like it's not like you have no idea what it's about. You don't get it. And like no shade for not having that feeling, but like the experience of standing there, like you said, standing there and looking at this thing and just being like, actually like, whoa.
Because in a picture you don't get cool. You don't get like the scale. You don't get like there's something about the curated environment as well. Like it all kind of like plays a part, And
just like, I think the first time I saw one, I was struck by how big they are. They're huge paintings. And just like, it feels like you're falling into the color. Like I don't know. They also feel like they're staring at you, even though they're just big blue squares and things. Like they just, again, presence. He should go up on Rushmore.
So like, wait, was that?
Can I throw up a crazy? I got a couple crazy ones because I didn't know we weren't doing not just artists. I want to throw, and this is sort of like, this is gonna be an umbrella one, but I'm gonna throw Arthur Rankin and Jules Bass. For, especially for their 1977 The Hobbit adaptation, which is I think arguably one of the most beautiful things and weird and insane and ugly, but also beautiful things ever made.
Matt, don't take this the wrong way. I mean it in a completely complimentary way, but like you seem like the kind of person who would have like a panel van with a wizard painted on the side of it.
If anyone would be offended by that, fuck them, they're wrong.
The panel van has, with a wizard casting a spell from on top of a mountain, has been a dream of mine for many years.
I've been trying to convince everybody that we need one for the booth and that we'll use that as my office at conventions. So we'll just park it in the center of the booth, and that'll be the office for meetings and stuff. And that's why we need one, obviously, and the company should pay for it. But so far,
Matt, have you seen
been unsuccessful?
have you seen the wizard van that Dungeon Crawl Classic Goodman Games?
Yeah.
It's like all shag carpet inside. You go in, it's
so good.
That's awesome.
So
I wanted to say this about that. So in a similar way to how we were all sort of talking about being in the presence of these paintings and like to experience it like in person is like the only way to like really understand it and like wrap your head around it. I feel like it applies to gaming in a lot of ways because I've been explaining like how to play games, you know, and I've been explaining like vibes and stuff for games. I don't know if Jason and Matt, if y'all experience this as well, but the best experience is always just to play the game. Yeah. And I think it applies to like the Meow Wolf exhibits as well, because I think there's a lot of great videos that like sort of show you like, oh, these are big spaces and there's cool stuff to interact with. But it's not the same as going
there's nothing like opening a filing cabinet and like digging through a bunch of shit and then like, you know, like that's like you can't get the experience without doing the experience, right? Like there is, I mean, you can have that surface level experience, I guess, and I'm sure there are plenty of people that do, but what makes it magical to me is like reading people's mail. Right.
Yeah.
And like, and you know, like just inhabiting this weird space. It reminds me, the other one that hits on is Sleep No More, where they both feel like I'm in someone else's dream. And just kind of like wandering around, which is very cool. And it's just such a, like, I mean, experiential, I feel like, has become a real buzzwordy thing, but is also like that's the word, and it's true.
Yeah.
I struggle explaining Meow Wolf to people who've never been. It's one of those things where I'm like, it's kind of like a haunted house that's also kind of a playground, that's also kind of an art exhibit. Yeah. Also, you get to dig through people's mail, kind of.
Jason, do you ever feel like when you're designing games or you're talking about game design, do you ever feel like you wish you could just sort of condense time down and be like, you know what, instead of talking about this, let's just play it real quick, and then you know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really lucky because like my games have a big community that plays them, and follows them, you know. So like my games get played, and so I always have the pleasure of knowing that people are playing them and seeing how this is going, you know. But what I will say though is for people who are not in the Gauntlet, which is the name of my gaming community, for people who are not in the Gauntlet, I make tons of actual play videos. Like you can go watch, and not just mine, other people's too. Like I encourage like actual play of my games, and for any of my games, you can find 10, 20 APs of them out there, right?
Yeah.
And, because if you can't play the game, the next best thing is to watch somebody playing it, right? Like that's like the next best thing. So from just a marketing standpoint, it's really important, but also from I agree. Like it's kind of like, you know, there's a lot of pleasure in buying a game for the look of it, right? For like the beauty of it.
There's a stack. I've got a stack of games over here that I love reading them.
Yeah.
I probably won't ever get to play them.
That's a great way to enjoy them. There's something to be said about like just being really into game design, right? Like I don't particularly enjoy Burning Wheel, but I love the ideas behind it. And so I like having it for that reason. But to me, the best way to engage with this hobby and with a game is to play it. Like I just like, if we're not playing it, what are we doing? You know?
Exactly.
So that's I definitely am. I'm a big partisan for doing the thing in the title of the hobby, playing.
Yeah. Well, let me claw deeper into that just a little bit, if that's okay. So I think for me, and I'm curious, Matt and Michael, feel free to jump in on this as well. I can read something and understand it, or at least I can feel a little bit of like twinkling memory of like I've played a game before, and so I understand, because I've played a game, like what this is going to do. You know what I mean? And so I think what I'm getting at is like, for someone that hasn't played a game like that, I mean, okay, like hasn't played a game, that's kind of crazy and broad, but hasn't played a storytelling role-playing game before, is it enough to like just watch an actual play? Like I can watch an actual play and sort of understand what's happening because I've played them before. You know, any thoughts on that? I feel like like having the advantage of having played games.
I am a big believer in, as human beings, we are naturally predisposed to telling stories, right? Mm-hmm. It's something we do really well as a species. And I have some data that backs up that, for my games at least, because that's what I pay attention to in this way, for my games at least, I know that people who play them who have never played a role-playing game ever always have a really easy time with it because like they slip into the like kind of storytelling part of it really easily because that's what we do as people, right? It's the guys who play the like really heavy trad crunchy games, you know, for the last 40 years who have a harder time with it, right? Like and I mean not like impossible obviously, but I think they, you know, they come from like a different frame. And so no, I actually think that like there's different things there, right? Like it can be in how the game is designed, right? Like if it's designed to be like easily picked up and played by somebody who doesn't know anything about story games or role-playing games, or it could be how it's presented. It could be how much support material there is. There's a lot of variables there, right? But at a basic level, I think that people are actually really good at it. And like Brindlewood Bay, I get a message at least once or I don't know, maybe like once a week or once every couple of weeks, I get a message from someone who's like, Brindlewood Bay was the very first game I ever like ran. Like I'd never run a game before. And it was so easy. And thank you. Like I love those messages because it's like, okay, cool. Like you clearly like something about it was really accessible to you, you know? And so, yeah, I think it just depends a lot on, it could depend a lot on the game as well. There's a lot of stuff there to unpack.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure.
But I actually think people are pretty good at it. I don't think it's that hard. Yeah.
I think part of what makes RPGs so interesting is that different groups at different times, even the same group at a different time, can have such dramatically different experiences with the same game. You know, like, is this a serious story? Is this a goofy story? Is this philosophical? Is this, you know, we're a bunch of idiot 12-year-olds making dick jokes? And I feel like you can have that experience in all games. And I think that sort of, the fact that you bring so much to a game is, I think, what's so interesting about the medium, that we're just kind of inherently, like when we write something or make something, we have this idea of how we think people are going to interact with it. And then I've watched people interact with stuff and do it in this just like, what are you doing? You're doing it so wrong. I mean, but there's no wrong way, but just like, what are you like, what? But that's so cool. Like, and it's kind of amazing because most other mediums that you work in, right? You write a novel, people read it and they might interpret it in different ways. They might experience certain elements in slightly different ways, but like you can sit down with somebody and play a game and have just such polar opposite experiences of what that is and what the game is and what the game made happen. And it just is so cool, I think, and also terrifying as a creator because you have so little control. Everybody that doesn't like it obviously did it wrong. So
trust and believe. I have seen some actual plays of Brindlewood Bay, especially Brindlewood Bay because it was my first game. I've seen some actual plays of Brindlewood Bay where I wanted to run to their home and slap the book out of their hand.
No,
you are doing it so wrong. But you know, they're having a good time. So what are you gonna do? You know.
I'm also, it's interesting because like I think about the spectatorness of like watching people play video games.
Oh yeah.
You don't get that as much it's hard to have that in tabletop games. I guess you could have someone who sits and watches you play. That feels weird. But like in the room with you. But I do think like, I'll use TAVERS as an example. Like I think storytelling games are really good because I think they're a really good entry point for people who feel like they can't play games.
Yeah.
Because like I think like, you know, like we were saying, like we all know how to tell a story. We all know how to talk about our day. And we all know how to say like point A to point B to points. We know how to do this. Like we do it every day with our friends and sitting around in a space and being allowed to do that. I think storytelling games are a really great way. They're a really good entry point to gaming because like it's just something you already are doing. Now do it weirder.
Yeah. Amazing. We've got another comment from Dave. Dave goes the distance. I think the great thing about RPGs is being able to improvise without the loathsome burden of acknowledging that you're doing improv.
Improv catching strays out here in the stream.
I should stop referring to TAVERS as a game that's about yes and probably if that's going to catch strays like that.
I mean, I have an upcoming game where the system is called yes and, so I mean,
yeah.
I mean, in fairness, a lot of improv is bad. So I'm about to get canceled on the internet for saying that out loud.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I apologize. I apologize to the improv community.
Hey, community out there in the chat, thank you guys so much for jumping on the stream. We're not going away just yet. We're closing in on the hour, but I did want to throw it back to y'all if y'all have any questions for any of us. Like, please.
I just want to say big ups to the dude that brought up Chesky, because that's pretty deep cut as one of your. That is he's a local boy. Like his place of like if you had like a home base, it would be like literally around the corner from here. So that's a weird local deep cut. So great.
Who said that? I'm not reading every single thing, but
let me see. Scroll. Oh my god, why can't I scroll?
I don't know.
My scrolling's not working now. So
oh my gosh, anything. Where there's a whip, there's a way. That's a deep cut
yes.
too. From the
absolute banger.
Yeah.
I mean, I love all that, like Frodo of the Nine Fingers. That stuff's great. The Glenn Yarborough, right? Yeah, Glenn Yarborough.
Is that the musician?
Yeah, that's the guy that sings on both of the Rankin Bass ones. That does this sort of like that real.
Our greatest adventure.
Yeah, that guy. Exactly.
Let's record an album, y'all. Let's go. All right. Real quick before we get to the end, and I cut this stream like a bad habit. You are in a post-apocalyptic world, and what is your occupation? You're the person that you are now in the post-apocalypse. What are you doing? Like, what's your occupation? Let's go to Matt. Matt, fantastic. What do you got?
I'm probably like a murderer. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like I got like
it's in there.
I mean, like for good, not like eating people and shit. But like, I feel like in my associate group, like I'm the one that's like, well, I mean, I guess we're gonna have to kill this guy, and that like it's gonna fall to me, and I don't love that about myself, but you know, being real, I'll probably be the murder and heavy of our particular association.
Okay. All right, we're gonna call you the defender role.
Yes.
the protector role.
Yeah, always for good,
yeah.
not for stealing.
Jason.
I'm the equivalent of the cruise director, or whatever the whoever runs the fun and games in the hard hold, or organizes the activities, or just that. I think that's me.
Yeah. It's kind of like the social coordinator or the face, right? So like you're presenting to the masses, like, okay, everybody, like single file, get away from the zombies or whatever the apocalypse is. That sounds great. Michael, what about you? Post-apocalyptic occupation. You can choose you can choose what apocalypse, like apocalypse of your choice.
Whichever apocalypse du jour you want. I always say that I probably would be one of the first people to die in an apocalypse. Like that's sort of my assumption. My skills are writing, and that's end of list. Maybe some spreadsheeting. I think I'd probably be a good group historian. You do have to keep track of what you're doing a bit.
Current job title, lore keeper. Future job title,
really
also lore keeper.
I also think I'd be a good gardener. I think I'd make a good vegetable garden in the apocalypse.
Yeah.
I don't love that I went first, and mine's like be a fucking psycho, and you were both like, be like a beautiful sweet boy.
We're being productive citizens over here.
I mean, what I would say is
a better place.
When I used to work at a coffee shop in New York, and I was always the guy who had to clean out the mousetraps. So I'm right there with you in that I was the guy who they're like, Michael will go take care of that problem.
That'll hit that guy with a rock, right?
Yeah.
So Matt,
what are you trying to? What would you be?
You trying to change your answer, Matt?
Oh, I would be a peacemaker. I would help people. I would help people. A mediator. I'd be like a post-apocalyptic mediator.
Jason, I smell the podcaster and you flipping the question on me. I am a very sweet, soft individual now, but I will take Matt's murder role in the apocalypse because I am here to defend my family from mutant wolves. And yeah, so I'll do that. I'm gonna be probably like
I'll feel bad about it. Like I won't be like, this is so exciting. I got to kill this mutant wolf, but
not me. No remorse. Not at all. Yeah.
Apocalypse rules apply. It's okay.
So Beckett, who's going to be on screen with me tomorrow for Coffee and Coffins, told me that he would be the post-apocalyptic doctor, which is amazing because we were talking about some real life medical conditions that he doesn't fully understand. But post-apocalypse, great advice. You know, just like, you know,
all bets are off.
Yeah, you've got the job. I love the idea that in a post-apocalyptic world, you really can, I mean, it's a fresh restart. You don't have to have a degree. You know, you can. I mean, a whole new world, right?
There's leeches right there. That's all I'm saying. Like we can, you know, take a few steps back medically. It's all right.
Mm-hmm. Reed asks, or re-asks. I'm sorry, Reed, if I missed your question originally, but re-asking my Kaiju Nimsescu question. Nimses Kaiju. Any chance of them existing outside Tavers? You know what? I have no idea. Michael, that's a question that I know that you will not be able to answer, but I'm sending it to you anyway.
I mean, yes, we are currently in the process of breeding giant hamsters to take over the world. That is what we're doing. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, let's go.
We're gonna do LA, New York, take over the world with giant hamsters. That's the pathway.
All right. Multi-episode Tavers Dropout ran at actual Meow Wolf locations and full-on makeup, very important people style.
Oh my god.
Okay. Yep.
I don't know that any of us can say okay to that. Someone should contact, you know, whoever asked the question. You should go talk to those people.
Oh, that's not a statement. That's a question. Like, can that happen? Sure. Yeah. But hey, if you killed the post-apocalypse raider anyway, it'd be a shame to let all that meat go to waste. Yeah.
Well, I'm a vegetarian. I'll murder the guy, but I'm not going to eat him. So.
All right. Fair enough. All right. Thank you, everybody in the chat, for participating. But you know, before this stream ends, if you want to drop in your post-apocalyptic occupation or your post-apoccupation, yep, that works. That tracks. We'd love to see it. Thank you, everybody who has backed the Kickstarter. If you haven't popped over to public access to check out Jason's current printing of public access, definitely go over there and give that a peek ski. And then don't forget to tune in tomorrow. We're doing another stream tomorrow for Coffee and Coffins, where me and Beckett are going to be you know how me and Beckett get. We'll be being weird. So, you know, come hang out over there too. We'll still field questions about Tavers, but we've got a couple of guests from Dungeon Damsel, and we'll be talking probably mostly about Shadow Dark stuff. So come over for a different kind of flavor. Michael, Matt, Jason, any last words you want to espouse before we go eat dinner? I'm hungry. I don't know about y'all.
Go appreciate some art.
True. Go make some art. How about that
too?
Yeah.
Both.
Go create something, anything. A story, a drawing, a piece of film, whatever you want. Michael, what about you? Yeah, go play a game.
I'm just gonna add that my favorite weird Stephen King novel is Eye of the Dragon. It's his random fantasy novel that sort of works.
You mentioned that to me,
and it's amazing.
He's got those Peter Straub co-authored ones, which are great.
Eye of the Dragon
well.
is old school swords and sorcery.
Mhm.
It's kind of amazing.
Dave is going to go finish their book. Get to it. Get to writing. All right, everybody, that's basically it. Thank you so much for joining us. And we'll see you guys on the next one. I think this is like the cutting the thing, cut the, yeah, cut it. Cut the